Hi, my name is Lauren, and in this video I'm going to be talking a little bit more about what exactly ECT or electroconvulsive therapy is, as well as what my experiences with it were like. So electroconvulsive therapy used to be referred to as electroshock therapy, or it was commonly referred to as shock treatment. So basically electroconvulsive therapy is a treatment done under general anesthesia in which they place small electrodes on your temples in order to pass small electric currents through your brain in order to induce a small seizure. ECT seems to cause changes in the brain chemistry that can seem to reverse the effects of mental illnesses or mental health problems. So ECT has been refined since the days of One Flew Over the Cuckoo Nest, and it doesn't really look like that anymore. However, they still don't really know exactly how it works and what the effects are on the brain. They just know that it's sometimes effective in treating mental health problems. So I'm just going to walk you through what the experience was like for me and to give you a little bit more insight into what exactly ECT entails. So as I mentioned before, ECT is commonly used with treatment-resistant depression, so it's not usually used as a first line of defense in treating a mental health problem. So for me, I had tried a bunch of different medications already for my depression, and I had tried therapy as well, and nothing really seemed to be working. So my doctor suggested that we try electroconvulsive therapy. So I think the first thing that people don't really know about it is it's not just a one-time treatment. So for me, I went and had it done 12 times, so 3 times a week for 4 weeks. So I was pretty scared initially, not really knowing what exactly it was going to entail and what exactly ECT was or what it was going to feel like or what it was going to do in terms of side effects to me. But I went, and so it usually happened first thing in the morning, and there was always a group of us. So there was a mix of some inpatients and some outpatients. I was being treated as an outpatient when I received it. So there was a group of us that went in to get it done at the same time, basically. So outwardly, I was showing that I was calm and I guess composed about the whole situation, which is why they usually put me near the end of the group, which was a little bit problematic because then I could hear and see some of the other people getting the treatment done, which was a little bit traumatic to say the least. So basically what would happen would be that they would set you up with an IV, and then they would attach an electrode to your temple, either on one side or on both sides, depending on which kind of ECT you were receiving. I only had it on the one side, but then they would hook that up, and then going through the line, they would wheel you over to the station where they do the ECT, and they would inject you with a muscle relaxant in order to relax your muscles so that you didn't break any bones or so that you weren't really sore the next day after having the seizure. And then they would put you under with general anesthetic. So they would kind of explain that process to you, and then they would count backwards from 10 as they put the general anesthetic into you, and you would lose consciousness. But because I was near the end of the line, I was still conscious while others were getting their ECT done, so I could hear the seizures and I could kind of see what was going on with the doctors and whatnot. So that was a little bit traumatic, but it helped to kind of understand the process a little bit better as well. So when it was my turn the first time, it was really scary because there was doctors and nurses standing over me, and I had an electrode attached to my temple, and I knew that I was going to be shocked in order to induce a seizure. So the actual treatment was done while I was put under, and so while I was unconscious, they administered the small electric currents into my temple to pass through my brain, and that's when I had the induced seizure, which is what they believe helps to alleviate some mental health symptoms. So the aim of the seizure is to be around anywhere between 30 to 60 seconds. From what I saw and what they told me, it was anywhere between really 20 to 60 seconds. So just to reiterate, you are unconscious during this process and you don't feel any of the electricity passing through you or the seizure or anything like that, and you don't remember it either when you wake up. But basically when I woke up, I was a little disoriented because of being put out and shocked. But I was able to remember where I was and what had happened and whatnot with a little help from the nurses and a little prompting from the nurses. I had a headache and I was sore already. But other than that, it went okay, I think. So it took about an hour to come out of the anesthetic, and I wasn't allowed to drive myself home, obviously, for obvious reasons. As the day progressed, after I got my first treatment, the headache got a bit worse, and I got quite a bit more sore as well, just from the effects of being tense during the seizure. I told the nurses this the next time, and they gave me a little bit more of the muscle relaxant, which did help. And I just took some ibuprofen for the headache. So recovery time after the procedure, they recommended taking the whole day off, but I oftentimes would just shower to get the gel out of my hair from the electrodes and go to school. I probably wouldn't recommend doing this. I'd probably recommend taking a day to just kind of relax and recuperate, but I think it affects everybody a little bit differently. So a lot of people say that it's kind of a gradual lifting of the fog for them when they receive ECT and it's effective. So this is why I kept going back for more treatments, even though it didn't really seem to be helping me at the time. Unfortunately, after the whole course of the ECT treatments, I didn't really feel any effects, and I was really left with memory deficits as well. So it really affected my short-term memory, and to this day, I still have some problems with short-term memory. So because it wasn't effective for me, some people have asked me if I regret getting it, and the simple answer to that is no, I don't, because I was in such a point with my depression at the time and early signs of schizophrenia that I was so desperate for reprieve or desperate for any form of effective treatment that I was willing to really try anything. So no, I don't regret doing it. I wish it had worked, but it didn't. It is a treatment that works for a lot of people, and there are quite a few studies coming out lately that indicate the effectiveness of the treatment. So if you are watching this and thinking about getting ECT, or your doctor has mentioned it to you as a possibility, I just want you to know that it's not as bad as people commonly think it is, and it is effective for some people. So I hope this video helps to provide a little bit more insight about the process of ECT and what exactly it's like getting it. So I mentioned ECT in the video about my story, and I mentioned it in the presentations that I give as well. And people are often surprised to find out that ECT isn't just one treatment, and they're just surprised to learn more about the process in general. So I hope this kind of helped to demystify some of it. If you found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos in the future like this, make sure to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye.